Organised Labour is set to begin negotiations for the 2026 base pay. This year, government granted 10% increase for public sector workers on the single spine salary structure. With the 2026 budget yet to be presented to Parliament, government is expected to speed up the negotiations. Currently, discussions on the minimum wage has begun, but the tripartite committee has not agreed on a percentage just as yet. Let's get a bit more from our Labour Affairs correspondent, Daniel Poku, who's joining us in studio right now. And Daniel, 10% last year. Yeah, Labour was not happy, but they had to take the president to be present for that agreement to come off.
Right.
What is the target they are looking at, considering that inflation has come down this year, the CD has performed appreciably against the US dollar? Does that calm them in terms of the percentage they are looking for?
Right, well, Eric, when you leave organized labor to engage in these figures, actually they will present 100% figure to you. I do recall some years back, they presented 65 to 75%. But this time around, unfortunately, labor has not met. Organized labor, they have not had their first meeting. And the only meeting that has taken place, just one or two, has to do with negotiations on the minimum wage. Usually you negotiate on the minimum wage before you transfer to negotiate on the base pay. So when they negotiate the minimum wage, that's when they agree on the figures. And the finance minister, that will really inform your basis for meeting organized labor to discuss the base pay. So basically that's what we are told. Labor has not met, but the figures yet they are yet to agree on the various. But I will not be surprised if labor should present beyond 50% to government, and government obviously they have to negotiate and come for them to meet a middle ground to agree on a figure.
Right. On the tripartite committee meeting for minimum wage, I know our minimum wage stands around 19 cedis thereabout.
Right.
What are the insider info you're picking as to the percentage we could see this increase by, considering that could inform as well the minimum wage? Right.
So usually when the minimum wage tripartite meets to discuss the minimum wage, they set up a technical committee within the tripartite. So the technical committee is here to present its report to the bigger body for them to agree. Somewhere last week, they had a meeting where a few issues were raised, but they have not been able to table a figure. When the technical committee meet, they look at the inflation, macroeconomic stability, and that key cost of living. All these issues come to play, all these factors come to play before they're able to agree on a figure. So hopefully before the close of this week, they should have another round of meeting and agree. I will not be surprised that it should go beyond 10%, because the minimum wage for this year, 10%. So this obviously tells you that there's a possibility they'll move a bit higher than 10%, hopefully around 15 or beyond 15%. But I don't see them getting beyond 20 or 25%. And that also will form the basis for the base pay negotiations. So if you're able to get, let's say, between 10 to 15%, then base pay will go a little bit beyond 15%. But unfortunately, this year, government agreed on 10% for the minimum wage and 10% for the base pay because the president stepped in. For this time, we are likely to see even that when the president came in, it even created some kind of disagreement between organized labor. There were those who felt that they were not properly informed. But this time around, I don't foresee the president coming in. Labor will be able to pave their way through for them to be able to reach an amicable solution.
Thank you very much, Daniel. That's Daniel. He is our Labour Affairs correspondent, providing details there for us as to what it is that we can look forward to in terms of the tripartite committee meeting that will inform base pay for workers in the year 2026. Now,